Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade.
Welcome to the Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here a special guest. Her name is Pamela Mair, and we are going to speak about everything hair today. It's so exciting. We have heard so much about different myths with hair and what to do, what not to do, and her story is interesting. In terms of how she started, what was happening, and why she decided to do this. So, Pamela, she's the CEO of Restoratives Hair and Skin. She's a trichologist. She's a certified hair loss specialist. She's an author. She's an educator and hair coach. So she does so much. So I think we're going to have some fun with her. So, hi, Pamela.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good on this Wednesday afternoon.
I was definitely doing good. So I want us to jump into it, Pam. So for those who may be new to the term, I sure was. What is a trichologist? And how did you get into this field?
Okay, this terminology, trichologist, it's not a new term. It's just new to the people who are coming into the total awareness of who they are and the care of their hair. Yeah, so a trichologist is a hair and scalp specialist. So we bridge the gap between beauty and health, and we deal with different hair and scalp issues that a lot of dermatologists really kind of scathe the cross. They really don't get into it because for them, everything is steroid medication. Whereas the type of trichologist I'm a holistic trichologist. I deal with it from the inside out. And based on your health, based on your blood type. So because everything related to our hair and scalp issues has to deal with what is going in. Because what is going in, this is another one of my mantras, is what's coming out. So, so it's very interesting how I got into this business. But just to kind of summarize what a trichologist is, we study the science behind hair loss, scalp disorders, and we offer non-surgical treatments. So as far as becoming a trichologist, we have to kind of back it up to day one, which is like about 1998. And I've been at this for a while, and it has been a roller coaster, enjoyable ride. Some people would say painful, but for me, it has been a joy because of what I've discovered and what I've learned. So how I got into this business was, remind you, I'm kind of dating myself, so you kind of know how old I am, which I don't mind. I'm a natural redhead. And being a natural redhead, like most of us, when you're tall, you want to be shorter. When you're fat, you want to be skinny. When you're skinny, you want to be fatter, and just everything. And during that time, salt and pepper was on the scene. So salt and pepper had that blonde hair I'm a redhead, been a redhead, picked that, laughed at, joked at, fought over it and everything. Tired of being a redhead. And so guess what? Blonde it was. Salt and Pepper was rocking it, and I knew I could too.
That's right.
And so, I did what any impulsive, overconfidence hair rebel would do. I hit the corner beauty supply store, grabbed some BW bleach with 40 volume. Of course, we didn't go with 10. I didn't go with 20. I went with the biggest number, 40 volume. Went home, went to town. No plan, no gloves, no timer. Long story short,
Mercy.
I didn't just go blonde. I went baldish blonde. My hair was fried. Yes, my hair was fried. I was crying for help. My hair was crying for help. And this is what would launch me into the hair care field. So this turned into this, so meaning this hot mess or this hot situation led to a whole lot of prayer, a trip to cosmetology school. And by the way, I dislike doing hair, like with a passion. Yes, with a passion. I dislike doing hair. The sew in, the flip it to the side, and I want the curls here and the pin curls over there, and I want the finger waves. No, do not. No. My answer to that is no. How I got through beauty school, my teacher let me teach what I knew at that point, as far as everything essential oil, herbs, natural butters. She just got engrafted. And for credit for roller set, I would teach. For credit for color, I would teach. And that's how I got my beauty degree. So anyway, so this situation of trying to go blonde, it led to a whole lot of prayer. Like I said, a trip to cosmetology school and a deep dive into herbs, natural oils, essential oils, and everything. I became literally obsessed. And so with becoming obsessed with even coming to learn about herbs and essential oil, it's a funny story behind that. I was at Bible study one night and our pastor talked about you can ask God for whatsoever. You can ask God anything because he answers all prayers. Well, I had a big one for him. And mine was, I need you to help me to restore my hair. And so went home and I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to pray this prayer. I need you to help me. I need you to help me restore my hair in Jesus' name. Amen. I mean, yes, it was longer, but I'm just, cutting corners here. And about 2 weeks later, my mom came home with this book. This book had over 972 pages. And she was like, my mom taught nursing. She's like, Pam, listen, one of my students gave me this book. And if you want it, you can have it because I don't want it. So I looked at the book and I went straight to the back, 900. I said, Mom, who's going to sit and read that? I don't want this book. And there's no pictures in this book.
Exactly.
She was like, throw it in the garbage. It was Back to Eden. It was that book. And so I'm looking and I'm saying, who was sitting right 972 pages? And I say, let me see what's in the book. So I'm looking in the book, and this book had stuff for gout, high blood pressure, migraines, if you had cramps, if you had muscle spasm. I mean, the book covered everything. And I said, I wonder if there's anything in here for hair. Because remember, I'm going through this hair situation still. Right. And I looked in the back, there's 17 things. And I'm like, what is horsefoot? What is colt's foot? What is nettle? What is basil for hair? And so back then we had 411. Now everybody has Google. So yay for Google. But we had it the best. We had 411 where you called and you talked to someone. And I called 411. The operator said city and state. I told her Miami, Florida. She said listing. I said, okay, I need information. I said, I need lavender. I need basil. I need nettle, colt's foot, basil. She said, you need a vitamin store. We found the closest vitamin store. I called the number. Barry answered the phone. I still remember his name. Hi, I need colt's foot, horsetail, nettle, basil, peppermint. He said, are you having hair problems? That blew me away. For him to say that, he didn't ask, do I have high blood pressure? Are you, not? He said, are you having hair?
He knew exactly when he started asking for those things.
Yes. And I said, yes. oh, he said, come in and, and I have everything here. I went to the vitamin store. I spent 3 hours with this man, and he told me about horsetail, nettle, coat's foot. When you combine those three herbs together and put them under a microscope, they look like hair. Blew me away. I bought everything he said. Irish marsh. I bought peppermint, basil. I think I bought like 12 or 13 boxes, which was herbs. Went home, threw it in a pot, and put it in my hair. Now, I'm American. My husband comes home. He's Jamaican. I have all this. So I boiled everything, let it cool. And when it cooled, there was a gel on the bottom and there was an oil on the top. And so I put my hand in it, scooped it out, put it in my hair. It was thorns, it was leaves, it was everything, everything. And I'm saying, what? My children came home from school and they was like, Mommy, have you been playing at the park? I'm like, no, but I got to get this stuff out of my hair. My husband comes home and he's like, Pam, what are you doing today? Because I was always doing something crazy. I said, I went to the store and I told him, I said, and the man told me to boil it. And I boiled it and I put it on my hair so my hair can start growing back. He was like, Pam, these are teas. I was like, okay. The only tea I knew at that point was sweet tea from Popeyes and Church's Chicken. That's all. That's the only. Remember, I'm American. We don't drink tea like that.
Right.
We drink iced tea. So anyway, he's like, you were supposed to strain it. I said, he didn't tell me that. He didn't. So we reheated it, and while it was reheating, he helped me pick all the leaves and the twigs and the sticks and all out of my hair. And when it cooled, he strained it. And again, a gel on the bottom and an oil on the top, which literally started causing my hair to grow. People noticed it at church and they was like, what are you doing? Your hair looks like your hair looks different. And I told them, I started passing it out. And this is how I got into everything hair, holistic hair care. Because I started making products and everything. And I've been on this journey ever since.
Lovely. So, hair loss is a growing concern for many people today.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, though, what are some of the most common causes you have experienced or encountered while you were practicing?
Right. So while I'm practicing trichology and dealing with customers, when I initially started, I was not a trichologist. I was just I went to cosmetology. I was just a cosmetologist. But what I noticed even from then is a lot of the common issues and causes for hair loss. One of the biggest ones is stress.
Yes.
Yes, stress. Right.
Yes.
And when you're dealing with stress, that will lead to a type of alopecia called telogen effluvium. Okay, EFFLUV as in victory, IU effluvium, and that will cause your hair to come out. Chronic stress, and so like I tell my clients, whatever situation you're dealing with, and like I tell people, I am a follower and a believer of Jesus Christ. And like I tell them, there is nothing that you can do in your own strength to solve any problem. You have to totally and completely and willingly give it to the one who can fix it. And a lot of times I explain to them a lot of issues and problems that we think are issues and problems are really not. We make them based on our experiences, based on our life, where we are in life. And when we're coming into stressful situations, you have to immediately reject it. So another common cause is hormonal changes, especially postpartum. Yes, after you have a baby, because a lot of women, when they're pregnant, their hair will grow and it will grow and it will grow. And that's because of all of the good hormones levels that are now in place. And then you have postpartum after you have the baby. What was keeping our hair in the anagen phase, which is the growing phase, has now been reduced. And so our hair ends up going into a resting phase. And sometimes it gets stuck in that phase because of stress, okay, because of dealing with situations that we cannot fix or correct. And that's when our hair will begin to thin out. If we can continue taking the different vitamins and supplements, and I'll talk about that a little later, our hair will continue to grow. But a lot of times after you have any type of anesthesia, as you fall asleep, when they give you anesthesia, guess what falls asleep also?
Wow.
Your hair follicles.
Interesting.
Yes. So, and that's because the life is in the blood. They give you anesthesia via what? IV, straight into your blood system. Okay? Think it not strange that it does filter through your hair follicles. The life is in the blood. It's not like they give you an IV and from your shoulders down, that's the only thing it affects. No, it affects everything, every organ, everything in your body. That's why you're able to fall asleep. They can operate on you and you wake up like nothing happened.
Right, nothing happened. Yep.
Yes. And so a lot of times, again, our hair follicles, they comfortable too. So they don't have to work. So let's just stay asleep, you know? So another common issue is PCOS, and that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. Okay. This is a hormonal disorder that affects women of reproductive age. It's characterized by an imbalance in hormones, particularly androgens. And that's actually for the males. So I have something for females and I have something for males also. Another common cause and issue is poor diet and nutrient deficiencies. Gut health is very important. And I talk about that a lot because one thing about our hair, what you're eating is what's killing or growing your hair.
True.
So it's right. So I have customers who their eating habits is erratic. Some of them, like they're trying to lose weight, so they don't eat. And then when they do eat, it's nothing beneficial.
Okay.
So gut health is very important. Tight hairstyles, that's another common issue. And you have ever since COVID, because believe it or not, during the aftermath of COVID is still affecting some people's hair cycles, believe it or not, which will lead to hair loss because of the poor nutrition absorption. So even if you're eating healthy or taking hair supplement, your body may not be absorbing nutrients properly, and mainly because of, number one, this COVID virus, it really shifted a lot of our body makeup and everything. So, and which has now led to a lot of us having unhealthy guts. Okay. So yeah. So it's just very important to know also that our hair follicles, they are key in the growth and the health of each strand of hair, which is so important. And that's why eating healthy, that's why dealing with our gut health issues is very important, because a lot of times when we're eating certain things, we need different nutrients. And we need nutrients like iron, like zinc, B12, vitamin D. And if our gut is imbalanced, okay, some people have I did a podcast once on leaky guts. Okay, some people are suffering now also with IBS, and the nutrients are just passing right through the body without having the opportunity to do what it's supposed to do as far as replacing what's missing. replacing where we are deficient in. And so for me, hair loss isn't just, one thing. It's just a mixture of
different things.
yes.
And I think I watched on one of your Instagram also, we were talking about even MS. There's causes with MS also.
Yes.
Some of this is concerned. So there are a number of factors that can actually cause hair loss. We just need to figure out what is happening, what we're doing, and change that.
Myself, I have been I was diagnosed with MS, and I just really thank God, and I give him all the glory because at this point, because once I was diagnosed with that in 2015, one of the doctors was telling me that I had already had it for 10 years.
Wow.
Based on my
Symptoms,
MRI, right, based on the MRI scans that they took, and they showed me all the different lesions that I had, and based on how they look, their shape or something, they were able to tell, about how long I have had it. And but I myself, I mean, I am for me, I'm a walking testimony, and experiencing hair loss has not been my portion. It has not, yeah. But
well, God has already equipped you with the tools that you need to combat hair
yes.
loss and everything. So that's a miracle in itself that even before the MS,
Yes.
you have had the tools. So you're
Yeah.
already using those. So God be the glory where that's concerned.
Yes.
I want to know, are there any warning signs people should watch out for before hair loss or scalp issues become very serious?
Yes. And a lot of times we don't take heed to the warning signs that we are experiencing, just like when dealing with something simple. Well, not simple, but something like gaining weight. You start gaining weight slowly, and then you really don't know that you have, quote unquote, gained weight until you try to put on those size 10 jeans that
Listen,
you
ma'am.
used to wear.
Yes, ma'am.
But right. But some of the warning signs are excessive shedding when you comb your hair and when you brush your hair. If your scalp is tender, if it's itching or burning for like you haven't had a relaxer, you haven't, like flat ironed your hair or used harsh chemicals on your hair, that's a warning sign. Flaking that doesn't go away with regular shampoo. And I just really want to talk about that real quick. With my system, as far as the different methods in taking care of your hair and scalp, I do have a product line that can be found on RX Hair Fit. And when you order, it's called the 30-day challenge. And with that, step 1 and 3 is a conditioner. So you start first with the conditioner and you add step 2 to step 1. And I do that because our hair is naturally dry as African American people. But again, we may be able to get back into that. Okay, so flaky that doesn't go away with regular, I'm going to say conditioning shampoo or conditioning cleansing. Okay, your hair is feeling and looking thinner. Believe what you see because mirrors don't lie. Okay.
Yep.
And then if you notice your edges have now started to recede or thin, receding as far as men goes. Okay. If you notice you're going to the barber, he's taking that hairline back a little bit more. That's not your barber. That's you losing hair. Let's just call it what it is,
She said, it's not your barber. I'm tired.
It's not your barber. It's you going through another phase of life. And with anyone that is losing hair, a lot of times you cannot stop that process, but you can slow it down. My father, before he left this earth, he still had hair. Okay. When we went and saw him once, he got to the mortician and they asked, okay, do you want his hair cut all the way off or down? I said, no, No, just give it a little shape up. My daddy had hair. So my uncle asked him once, why do you have hair and I don't? And he was like, because I use my daughter products. Start using my daughter products. So his brother, my uncle, he's still alive. His hair, nope. My dad, if he was still alive today, I promise he would still have hair today. But when you notice any type of thinning, shedding, or just unusual activities going on with your hair, seek the proper help. Contact a trichologist. If you go to your beautician, your stylist, your master stylist, beautiful. Okay. I mean, I give props to them. A lot of them do hair that is phenomenal, but a conditioner is not a one for all. Okay. People always say, I get a treatment every time I go to the beautician. Why? Why? I mean, why? And so, but I know why, because that's a part of the game. You need a treatment. How much is a treatment? That's 15, 20 more dollars in our pockets. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a shampoo and conditioner, that should just be a part of the regular, I'm getting my hair done routine, right? Bam, 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 bam,